Hello everyone, welcome back to the Kirklees Guitar School Podcast, episode 4. I'm joined with my co-host, Mr. George Loveridge. How you doing, George?
I'm all right, James. How are you?
Yeah, good. Rock or roll this week?
Rock or roll. Okay, so there's a few new people have joined since we started this new season. So we start every podcast by asking each other whether this week's been a rock or a roll or a stroll, of course, in the middle. So for me, it's another rock, keeping it positive. So if you've been with us a while, you'll remember that back in like episode 3, 4, I said I'm booking to go and see Extreme. But it's in August. It's a while away. I'm going to see them tonight.
Oh, is that tonight?
Going to see Extreme tonight at the Peace Hall in Halifax. I can name you about 4 songs present, but it's Nuno, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome guitar player.
Oh, 100%.
Very underrated and sort of quiet. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Booked tickets to see the Classic Rock Show as well.
Yeah, you like those guys,
I really like those guys. Punch them into YouTube, have a watch. Usually we go and see them 2 or 3 times on the tour because I'm a little girl. And fangirling over them. But tickets have gone up a little bit this year and locations aren't as close as they have been.
So where are you seeing them this time?
Going to see them in Harrogate this time.
I always feel like that's a little bit further away than you think. You think, oh, it's only Harrogate. And
It's not.
Yeah.
For us here, it's Leeds Bradford Airport and a bit more.
Yeah.
And or it's not York and a bit more. We saw them in Liverpool last year, in York last year, and we've seen them in Sheffield. But yeah, Harrogate, it's an hour. A good hour.
It's a good theatre, though.
Very good
theatre. Was
theatre.
it last year or maybe the year before? So I saw Tommy Emmanuel there fairly recently.
It's a good
theatre. It was a
theatre.
really good gig, yeah.
Yeah, and what else? Oh, we played another gig the weekend just gone. Lovely sunny morning, Sunday in Sheffield. Beautiful Wentworth Woodhouse. They've just had the flower show there. Very nice. Started playing My Girl, first song of the set. Singer sang, I've Got Sunshine on a Cloudy Day. All of a sudden, the heavens opened. And I think my set list is still wet.
Right.
Like I need to change the strings on the guitar because everything just got wet and manky.
Are you not concerned with like electrical issues?
Yes, 100%. What we said before when we used to do gig stories that we got rained on once and the desk was buzzing. Like I touched it and I got a small zap. It just annoys me getting a nice guitar wet, to be honest.
And that's how it makes you go, well, do I take the nice guitars out?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's a rock. It's been a good week. What about you?
Yeah, nothing to report really. Other than
So no reason to roll.
No reason to roll, but no reason to rock either. So we'll go stroll. We'll go in the middle. I've had an influx of gigs. I've had which is going to tie into a portion of the podcast later on.
Okay.
We're going to talk about want of the week at the back end of the podcast rather than front loading what James has been frantically Googling this week. We'll do it at the back end of the podcast. But I've had an influx of gigs come in, theatre gigs, so much so that I'm thinking about redoing my rig. So stay tuned for that and we'll go
into one to the week then.
Into one to the week. So what's on the set list for this week, George?
Okay, so today's set list. We're going neck deep first of all. This has been requested a lot. We're learning the notes on the fretboard, or we're going to show you how you can try and remember the notes on the fretboard. It's like learning that there theory. You're not going to do it straight away, but we're going to try and address that. Learning the notes on the fretboard in our neck deep section. From there, we've got tone talk, as James just said, want of the week. I've had a want of the year so far, to be honest, with this guitar in particular. We're then going to pick our brains. We're going to read through some audience comments. Forgot the word there, yeah. Reading through some comments for Pick Our Brains. And then, of course, we finish with our jam. And, of course, a reminder that on Saturday, 8th of November, we're going live at Denbydale Pie-Ho. You can grab your tickets from the description below. Live show, live audience, live podcast. Grab your tickets.
Learning the notes on the fretboard. I think before we go into the actual mechanics of that, I think it's worth having a roundtable conversation of why is it important to learn? Like, is it because everybody on the internet tells you need to learn the notes of the fretboard, or is it actually gonna help you, George? Why should students learn the notes on the fretboard?
So you're absolutely right. Everyone says you need to, and the people in the group say they need to and want to, but it does actually really help. If we do it accidentally, because those in the know, we say, so then you're just going to play a G. And you go, okay. Now, G chord is fine, but you see us doing something like this. You think, well, how do I know that's G? It helps to cross-reference things. And it's like Lego theory, I think. You learn a bit, and then you can bolt a little bit more on, and it just keeps building. For cross-referencing, that's my reason behind learning it. It opens everything up. If you learn 3 notes across the neck, well, you can instantly then double it because you can learn the note after it. And then you can triple it because you can learn that note before it. Little just keeps going. That big. I should have put that on the bingo.
Well, if we've got a bingo card.
We call it BS bingo.
For the there's certain things that we talk about week in, week out, and that's one of them. I think when we learn to read and write at school, we don't just learn that a C, an A, and a T put together spells cat, or DOG spells dog. You've got to learn those three letters by themselves to learn to push them together. As guitarists, guitar's kind of the only instrument where you can read tabs. Mm-hmm. And it's a big point of contention among guitarists in the guitar community. It's like, is learning to read tabs, is that doing it correctly? Now, we won't go into that today. That's a conversation for another day. But understanding what notes you are actually playing gives you that deeper understanding. And if you're really serious about learning to play the guitar, I think it's a worthwhile endeavour.
Yeah, definitely.
But also, I use notes as hooks to remember for places to go. So, Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
Right? This is this is an example of how I'd use this. Now, if I can't remember what fret I need to start the improvised part of the guitar solo on, but I do know it's an A. Mm-hmm. Which means I can play it in a couple of different places. Now, we're not talking about the... he says it's a good start. Well, I'm not getting any noise.
Is the amp switched off? All live. So yeah, we do genuinely have a BS bingo card. And that needs to go on it all live here, folks. If you've watched the podcast for a while, you'll know we always reference Brown Eyed Girl.
Yeah.
Or Run to You. Mm-hmm. And that's our story. Yeah. Go Your Own Way.
So, not the... Not that bit. It's the...
I just said that was a D that you start on. Oh, that's an A, right, okay. Yeah.
Now, when I go up to the dusty end, I can either go to this A here, which is on the 10th fret of the B string, or I can go to the 14th fret of the G.
How do you know that 14th fret of the G is an A note?
Okay,
because this is how I join them up together.
Massive brainwave moment. Mm-hmm. After 12 frets, everything repeats itself. So if you're playing on the G string, the 12th fret of the G string is also a G note. Mm-hmm. So I've got that G on fret 12. What comes after G in the musical alphabet?
G sharp.
G sharp. What comes after G sharp in the musical alphabet?
A.
A. And that's how I got there. Okay? There is some other little tricks which we'll talk about in a second to sort of get there, but I'm thinking, where's the nearest A? Because we're in the key of D minor, so I'm going to solo in D minor pentatonic. Yep. So if I've got that, can you just give me the... And it sits on that for ages.
Thank you for watching. No.
But I need that reference point rather than thinking, oh, fret 10 of the B string, that's not memorable. Whereas A, because if you think about it, if you've got, so this guitar, I think somebody's going to correct me. I'm going to paraphrase it. It's out. I don't really venture past fret 17, to be honest, most of the time.
We're scared of heights.
Yes. But for argument's sake, let's say this guitar's got 22 frets, which I think that's what a Les Paul has. I'm not going to count in front of them. Camera in front of them. But there's 22 frets and there's 6 strings. Mm-hmm. So 6 times 22, for those of us that are good at maths.
No,
me neither. Right, no. Okay. So it's much easier for me to remember an A note, but I want first position. I want to use the first position of the D minor pentatonic to get to solo. So I need to find an A note within that sort of 4 fret radius of the 10th fret of the low E string, which is a D, which is how I know that's D minor pentatonic. It's all linked. So that's how it happened in soloing. But what about why is it important with say something like bar chords, George? Why is it important to know the names
So we're going to do an episode on this. Episode 6 is the plan for bar chords.
Okay.
We've got E and A shaped bar chords, and the rest is in bar good until that episode. But point being, Let Go Your Own Way. That's a bad example actually. There's a couple of songs. Tainted Love. Okay. That goes A, C, F, C, D. That's all quite close together package because I'm using an A-shaped bar chord. What does that mean is the root note is on the A string for that chord. If I didn't do that, I'd be all over the place going... I could be all over the neck, so it helps to condense everything by learning your 2 strings in bar chord land anyway.
Yeah, and I just want to sort of embellish upon that. Sorry, I don't want to overstep.
No.
In internet land, the F chord is demonised, isn't it? Everybody goes, the F
grow
chord,
up, like it's not that hard.
Chord.
it's just not.
Well, the only caveat with that is you've got to be ready for it, in my opinion. You've got to have the mechanics to it. But again, we're trying not to go down these rabbit holes.
This is the why. Yep.
So that F bar chord. There's a Cream song. Outside my window is a tree. That's the first chord of it, and every time I play that F, just as it is, that's all I can hear, and it's really distracting.
I hear Misery, the Beatles.
Do you?
The world is... Yeah.
First fret of the low E string. What comes after E in the musical alphabet? F. Really important point on that, which we'll get back to. No sharp or flat between E, B and C or E and F. That very first note, the lowest note, tells it is what we call the root note. That tells us what the chord is. So
whatever your index finger is doing on a bar chord is your root note
for the E and the A shapes.
Yeah, okay.
It's not. It does kind of go a little bit awry when you get further into the caged system. If I take that and I move that up 1 fret, same shape, just starting on the 2nd fret, that becomes F sharp. I'm moving up into the next note. Fret 3 is G. G sharp. And then after you hit G sharp, there's no such thing as a H note. Well, there is. If you Google it hard enough, some people think that there is. But in
all the druids in robes.
Yeah. But actually, how it's supposed to be in the sort of counterpoint system that we're using for Western music, after fret 4, G sharp, it starts all over again, and we go to A.
Now, this
A
is just a
sharp.
Coincidence. If you look at a piano, it starts on C. If you think of like bottom left on a piano, that just happens to be C on that instrument. On guitar, it just happens to be E, and then F sharp. You can start from A, but I've always been a believer that it just so happens that's where we start.
Okay, so let's wind. So now we know why. How do we practically apply this to the fretboard then? Now, how I do this and how I'm planning on teaching this, I'm doing a series of lessons coming up online on how to do this, which I think is going to be really helpful for some people. My first protocol is, can you recite the musical alphabet?
Yeah. Again, it comes down to timing, putting the guitar away first.
Mm-hmm. Where there's 12 notes in music, and we have sharps and flats between them, but not all notes are created equally. I've said before, there's no sharp or flat between B and C or E and F. Now, the way that Western music has chopped up these 12 notes and these 12 frequencies that go up in, which do double and go into the octaves, it's universally accepted that there's no such thing as an E sharp. The way that they've had to essentially chop it up into 12 chunks, and for some reason or another, people way smarter than me have decided that there's no such thing as an E sharp.
It's standardization.
Yes.
It's like the English language. Some point someone drew a line in the sand and said, we say this.
So if we literally, like a child would count on the fingers, if we start at the top, A, A sharp, B. Now that note in the middle, A sharp, could also be called B flat, couldn't it, as well?
There's musical explanations for this, but it's aluminum, especially over the pond. I guarantee I know there's keys that dictate whether it is an A sharp or a B flat, but most Americans naturally say A sharp.
Yeah.
I'm a B flat kind of guy.
Yes, 100%. And either's fine. It's just
by
tomato.
By that logic, you could say F is F sharp flat, because you could say it's the one before. In English, flat is, if you're looking at your fretboard, flat is the one before on the left, a sharp is the one on the right. Anyway, I'm stepping on you a little bit.
A sharp stroke B flat. B.
Okay.
No sharp or flat between B and C. So that means number 4 is C. C sharp. D. D sharp, which doesn't sound like it's right, but when I say E flat,
sounds
you go,
great.
oh yeah, Superstition, all those wonderful Tama Motown records in E flat. E. No sharp or flat between E and F. So after E, we get F. After F, we get F sharp, G, G sharp, and there's no such thing as a H, so we go all the way back around again.
Yep.
The first port of call would be get a blank piece of paper, make a strong cup of tea, draw a line on your piece of paper.
Is
this what you've?
Yes.
I wondered what the pad was.
In full Blue Peter fashion. You carry on. I'm going to do best Bob Ross. And we're going to do it together. So grab a piece, pen and paper.
We should get a wig, shouldn't we? For that
I thought you were going to say a whiteboard. That would be much more helpful.
No, get a Bob Ross wig. That'd be far more entertaining.
I'll fill you in. You keep going.
Right. So what I'd do, and what I'm hoping George is going to do on this piece of paper, is I will draw a straight line and put 12 notches in that line, and each one of those notches is going to be a fret. And I want to be able to physically on paper map out the musical alphabet starting from the open note of the string. Now, the reason I'm starting with the A string is because it's the start of the alphabet. It's easy to remember. And can you physically draw in all 12 notches on there? Or I see that you're physically just writing numbers on there.
Yeah, I'll come back to it.
Can you, one way or another, write those notes out and leave them somewhere in your practice space as a point of reference? Because you're not going to immediately get it. This thing is little and often. We say this a lot. Yeah. Again, it should be on the BS bingo. Little and often, little bit at a time. And the crux of this is kind of going, okay, well, I'm just going to find this note, that note, right? For those of you listening, this is the 8th fret of the low E string. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, C.
That's a really good point you brought up accidentally there. I learned, because you used to do that with me way back when, you'd say, what's that note? And I'd be sat crying at the other end going, I don't know. But I sort of hallmarks, I associate frets with notes. Mm-hmm. First step with this is learn your dots.
Right, okay. Is that what you do?
Yeah, this is what I do. Because if you learn that dot 3 on the E string is G and the 5th fret is A, well, you know that the one before A, the one after G is going to be G sharp and the one after A is going to be your B flat. And that helps you to shuffle it along a little bit.
That's really interesting. I've not really thought of it like that. Okay.
Can I jump to my Bob Ross?
Yes, absolutely.
So, I want you to grab a pen and paper. Hopefully you'll be able to see this on my camera here. What I've done, I've written 1 to 12 down one side of the piece of paper. Those are my frets. Then drawn that line. I usually do this with the E and the A string, but I think we're just going to focus on the E string today. I've then gone down. Now, use this or Google it first, because it's a bit like when you learn your spellings. You need the proper thing first to learn off. First fret, F. F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, E flat, E. That's the order of the notes on the guitar.
But you should be able to recall those out. As children sing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you should be able to go F sharp, G, etc.
Yeah, so this is how I would do it. And if you've got lots of paper at home and lots of ink in your pen, do this over and over again. Like I genuinely believe, test yourself. If you can write F sharp, join the dots. But if I just draw circles, 3 is G, 5 is A, 7 is B, 12 is E, and then 9 is C sharp. Those are your dots on the fretboard.
Just to be clear, those are you listening as well. On the side of your fretboard, as you're looking at your guitar with your guitar in your knee, you'll notice that there's markers on fret 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. And also on this Les Paul, I don't know if you can see, I've got these inlays.
Whereas on a Strat or a Fender guitar, you've got dots.
Dot inlays. That's what it means by... That's what you mean by
learn your dots.
Learn your dots.
Because I can, in my head, 3 is G. Whenever it's not just the phone company, but when someone says 3 on the guitar, I'm thinking G. Mm-hmm. Not C, which is on the A string, I could do, but G. If you learn the dots, if you write G, 3 is G, what comes before G in the musical alphabet? F sharp. Okay, so there's my lid. I've learned fret 2 and fret 3. What comes after G in the musical alphabet? G sharp. Right, you've now learnt 3 frets. Because if you find the one that you can remember, G, you can go 1 above and 1 down, vice versa. It always gets a bit trickier when you get to 9, I think, because then if you look at the gap in between your dots, you don't have one. You've got 2 frets.
Right, okay.
That's how I would do it. Grab pen and paper. I know we didn't quite do it at the same time, but go back in the video and just write it all down, and hopefully you can see.
And if you get to that point, what I'd urge a student to do from there is potentially pick a note, George. Any note.
B flat.
B flat, right, okay. Of course you pick something awkward like B flat. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and find a B flat on every string. So B flat to start with on the E string, 6th fret, A string, 1st fret. There we go.
Yeah.
I've been playing my SG and everything feels like miles away. On the G string, B string, high E string.
So, we touched on this a second ago. I know we're going on a bit now. You know when you said go your own way, I said, how did you know that was an A? Oh, that's a clash compared to the B flat. Bass players use this a lot, and I preach this to people. Octaves. It's all about octaves. Mm-hmm. Once you've learned the E string, you learn the A string, but we're not going to go on to that at the minute.
If you'd like us to do an episode 2 on this, I think it'd be worthwhile.
The that B flat note that I picked, if I find that low, I think we mentioned this in season 1. I'm on 6th fret of the low E string. That is the B flat. If I take my first finger and go 2 strings down to the D string and 2 across up to the 8, that is also B flat. That's how I found my octave of that B flat note.
Yeah, it's like either side of a power chord.
Yeah, it's like your power chord, but a note underneath. And so therefore you don't need to learn any of the notes on the D string, because you can find them all on the E.
I call that the L shape. Let's come out of B flat land. Let's go to F, because we're at the bottom of the neck. Okay. So the 1st fret of the low E string is an F note. If I come down 2 strings to the D string and up 2 frets, so you go down
2 down, 2 across.
Yeah, 2 down, 2 across to the 3rd fret of the D string.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well. So that's the thing. It's not just a device. Songs are made out of octaves.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
But then you can do that on the A string. Hey, he's done it again. Everyone's feeling pretty. Yeah.
Such a great song.
Yeah.
Such a great song.
All the Stevie Wonder ones are good.
The best, if you're completely new to this, the best thing that you can take away from today's podcast is there's no sharp or flat between
B and C
and
E and F. See, I was listening.
Little bit at a time. Make it part of your everyday playing. You don't have to come up with this really ornate. We're in the middle of we just started the August practice challenge on the.
Haven't started that yet. I was meant to, but I'm trying to have a week off this week.
Yeah, but in your day-to-day practice, don't come up with this kind of plan where you're going to master the fretboard in 7 days, like some sort of American advert that you'll see on Facebook for guitar lessons. I want you to think of it more as, if you've just got a moment, you just kind of go, right, I'm just going to pick a random note. Okay, 3rd fret of the G string. Mm-hmm. What is that note? Well, it's B flat. But it's not going to. It's going to take you a while, but it's a muscle. The more you exercise it.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're doing that at home, if you're going to pick a random note, are you allowed to use your ear as well?
Yes.
Cool.
100%.
Okay, that's 100%.
Fine. Right.
So yeah, you write it down.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm a big believer in that. It's if you're already established, you've hopefully got the capacity for it. Put your guitar down for a second and write it. It's like the timing thing. Put your guitar down and tap along first.
And it's all just encouraging good habits. It's not rocket science, this. It's just making it part of your everyday vernacular is kind of the crux to get.
Yeah, it's Alistair who's been asking for this for a long time, so hopefully he gets something out of that, mate.
And it's not the kind of thing that in a 30 to 40-minute podcast we can completely unpack. It has to be an organised, structured series of lessons, which I'm currently working on to get this right. So, shall we move on to Tone Talk then, George?
Yes, Want of the Week has returned.
So what have you been lusting after?
Since I bought my Katana Go, which was in May, I think, the big swayer in that was watching the Andertons review of it. Mm-hmm. And the guy on the right, his name escapes me, not Captain Anderton.
Peter Honore.
He was playing silver PRS Silver Sky. For those not in the know, a Silver Sky is a PRS version of a Strat. John Mayer has a couple of custom bespoke models. It's Strat on steroids. Don't know whether that's fair. Slightly different headstock. It's like a Music Man style headstock, whereby instead of having, it's got a Gibson style headstock.
Yes,
essentially.
Side, yeah.
But just the way I'm looking, I've written it down. So I was really silky sharp Strat tones. That's what I'm looking for. This £100 budget Strat, budget bullet Strat, does a decent job, but it's not how I perceive a Strat to sound. Could I get these silky Strat tones from a real Strat? Yes, but would a PRS Silver Sky do it a little bit more? I'm thinking of the whole John Mayer. You get that really nice mellow sound.
Yeah,
then you also get that
position 2 and the position 4 thing, isn't it?
You get that whole attack as well, is what I'm looking for.
Do you want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
Okay, I've played both. I've played the SEs and I've played a few of the American-made
Silver Skies.
$3,000s, yeah. And I don't like them.
Okay.
I don't like them. We don't like change. No, it's not that. The scale length, I think it's the scale length.
They are
I think
different.
it's
They're
got
visually different, yeah.
No, it feels different. It feels like a Gibson scale length on a Strat. And it's really odd. It feels dinky. It feels too small. Now, I'm a much bigger dude than you. You might be like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
But for me, it just... somebody who watched the podcast, funnily enough, she's coming to the live show on the 8th of November. I won't name names because I don't know if she wants me to. We went to Rich Tone Music and tried a boatload of Strats. She had a fairly healthy budget for an American Strat. Okay. And we tried everything within that price range and kind of 500 quid either side of that, which included the PRS Silver Sky and the SE one. And both of them, I'm not going to say they were dogs. They're absolutely not. Just not the guitar for me at all. It just felt really alien to me. It didn't. So if you do, I mean, you're tight at the duck's bottom, so you probably won't end up getting one. But I'd recommend that you go try them, or at least
definitely
in a way where you can return it if you're not getting on with it. 'Cause personally, it wasn't my cup of tea.
What I'm looking for is that wisp of a single coil, that snap. Don't get me wrong. Loads of gain on a bridge position on a Les Paul with humbuckers. There is nothing better. But sometimes a single coil is just really nice.
I think it's part of every. It should be part of every guitarist, serious guitarist toolkit is to have some sort of F Fender guitar style guitar.
Yeah, because
and some sort of.
You can get a Telly, for example, with a single coil neck and a bridge, humbucker bridge. I've played those guitars before, and they're not the same. No. It feels too Les Pauly on the humbucker, right? And the neck will always feel like a wooden Telecaster. I've
always fancied a 70s.
The deluxe, the hollow.
72. No. The it's not a custom. What's it called?
Is it with the F hole in it?
No, it's not a thin line. No,
right.
It's a black telly with a ashtray bridge at the bottom and a regular Telecaster, but then it's got a humbucker in the neck, but one of those wide range humbuckers in the neck.
I just don't understand why you'd have a humbucker in the neck of a telly, because it's such a deep sound anyway.
I don't know. I just think, but also those vintage ones from the 70s can be picked up at really reasonable money compared to what the other ones, Strats and stuff go for. So, right.
Yeah, Silver Sky,
you fancy one day.
Probably what happened. It's just something that I think that'd be nice. What about you? Want of the week? See, for me, it's want of the 6 months. So he's been eating away at me.
So as I said at the start of the podcast, I've had an influx of gigs. Northern Live have booked me for quite a few gigs throughout the autumn now, to the point where I'm currently, those gigs we use direct rigs. So a direct rig is basically, I don't take an amplifier to that gig. I essentially take a pedal board and plug it into the sound system. Now there's all kinds of wonderful things that, there's wonderful devices that you can get. I bought a Line 6 HX Stomp in the lockdowns.
You mentioned that, yeah.
To use for the Zoom lessons that I was doing at the time. And it did a great job, but it's kind of getting a bit out of date, but that's what I'm currently using for the gig. And I'm kind of thinking, actually, I've kind of got enough work in the diary to justify potentially upgrading. And part of my plan for next year is I want to do a lot more of those kind of gigs. Not necessarily Northern Live, but I want to start working with new people, new stages, new opportunities. and if I've got the best that I can afford, and I can set, because what I'm conscious of is I don't want to. The competition will all be using the sort of more modern stuff, whereas my patches are a little bit out of date. Well, even the newer Helix stuff is a big upgrade from the Stomp that I've got.
So you're looking at Line 6 Helix, GT 1000, Boss.
So I've Andy, our colleague at the school, has kindly lent me his Helix LT.
He swears by it.
Yeah, but I spoke to him about it. I've been texting him on WhatsApp, and I was like, would you pull the trigger? Because they're quite old of those units now, and to be honest, they're not too dissimilar to what I've already got. And he's like, check out Quad Cortexes,
okay,
which is they're made by a company called Neural DSP, and that's the daddy. But they are quite expensive for what they are. And I'm kind of going, well, do I buy one, use it until the winter, and if I don't fill my diary with loads of gigs, I move it on. And I've got... The thing is that I don't like about the Stomp is I can't edit it on the fly. I found myself in situations where a sound guy has said, can you just take a little bit of that reverb off, or can you just do this, or you know, there's too much bass in your signal, can you turn it down? And I like the only way that I could do that is physically get my laptop, plug it in. Yeah, and I don't
see, that's the
want
thing.
that.
You set that up in here, think, oh, that sounds wicked. I've been guilty of it with that unit you gave me. It sounds wicked at home, and then you actually plug it into it, and it's way too much.
Yeah. So, but the Quad Cortex would be, it's essentially its own little computer. It's got its own screen, and you don't have to plug it into anything.
Zoom do a lot of that now.
Yeah, similar kind of idea. But also what I think would be good is you can actually run 4 guitars simultaneously in and out of the same unit. So I'm thinking recitals, we could just plug all the kids into that. So it's not just for, it's got numerous uses. Also, when I'm doing, for example, we were doing the Black Sabbath lessons, BS Bingo, I could get a profile of the actual rig that Tony Iommi was using to be even more authentic in the lessons and for the playthroughs and stuff. Sorry about that.
It's all right. It's iRig, Boss have it, the tone exchange, where users create what they deem.
But this can actually profile amps as well, like the Kemper can as well. So it's a bit of a kind of... The more I talk about it, the more I kind of go, yeah, it is a massive upgrade.
Your one to the week is very sensible. Like, justified. Mine's just, I'd like a new Strat. Yours is like, has a reason behind it.
The thing is, though, like, I bought that custom a couple of weeks ago.
So you're on a bit of a ban.
Well, it's not even that. It's just kind of like... It would massively help, and to be honest, I wouldn't need. These gigs are not starting till sort of very, very, very late August, so I've got kind of 3 or 4 weeks for the coffers to kind of recover a little bit. But I sort of think I'm trying to make a bit more of an informed. I need to do something. James 12, 18 months ago would have gone, just sod it, just buy it. When actually I'm kind of going, there's only a finite amount of these ones
Random
and zeros
purchases,
in this Monzo account. What can I?
That's very true.
So, but I think what it'll do is it'll give me the edge to kind of and open my rig up to be able to do more work.
Fair enough.
So it's a once of the week.
If anyone's got any wants of the week, let us know gear that you're wanting.
Yeah,
because we all want it at some point.
100%.
So pick our brains. We're going to go through some comments from the last episode. So this is a bit of a long one. This is from marktracy_IRE. Sorry for butchering that, Mark. Guys, great podcast this week. Really enjoyed it. So easy to listen to. Regarding timing, I went for my first and only lesson 29 years ago. He lost his job the following morning. And interestingly, the first thing the tutor asked me to do was strum up and down for a period of time so he could see if I had any timing. Currently working on The Thrill Is Gone from your lessons and was getting those notes correct, but it didn't sound anything like the song. That was until I started to sort out the timing, and suddenly it all clicked. There we go.
I think, especially with something like Thrill Is Gone, some really kind of memorable lead guitar part, I say this in the lead classes all the time, you should be able to, you don't have to do it well, but if you're, like Hotel California, for example, the solo of Hotel California, I'm humming the melody.
See, that solo's relentless. That's bang, 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 bang. Thrill Is Gone is da da da, and then like Sultans of Swing we said last week, if you play all of that like a tick list, you're always going to get it wrong. Yeah,
just keep plugging away, Mark.
Yes.
It sounds like you're well on your way.
And then we mentioned Nbrad 100 coming from España to come and see us, coming from Spain. He says, thanks for the mention. My neighbour used to live in Denbydale and knows the Pie Hall. So they have their own tour guide when they come and see it. And then they said, Nbrad, he's just started the daily practice routine from the August, and he's already feeling the difference going back to basics.
100%.
That's proof. It feels silly going back to playing baby chords, for example, or just this basic timing stuff, but it makes a world of difference.
Key skills. We tread this ground over and over and over again with the people. You describe the lesson room as a doctor's surgery. People come in with problems and you have to sort of unravel them. And I kind of go, we tread this ground all the time. And that's why I sort of feel like we're really good at it, because, for at least 2 hours a day, we're going 1, 2, 3. We're trying to coach people, which gives us that really solid foundation.
Here's a kind of weird analogy. People come to us and they want to play something really cool really quick. And we go, no, do the spider exercise at 80 BPM. So that's saying, I want the weight loss jab. No, go on a walk.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, just steady, it'll come.
Yeah.
And then the final comment that'll save us getting banned, because that was quite an ambiguous comment from me there, is James Smith, a personal trainer. I don't know if anyone's come across him on Facebook. Always maintains something that is measured can always be improved.
100%.
So if spider exercise at 80 BPM this week, well, if it's 90 BPM next week, that's an improvement.
100%.
And mentally, you can see the progress.
But I've said before in the podcast, though, try not to assign numbers to things.
No, that's very true.
It's a double-edged sword, because you don't want to become obsessive either. You were talking about weight loss analogy, and it's kind of like, well, if things do ebb and flow, though, if you're trying to lose some weight and you stand on the scale every day, if it goes up for no particular reason, which it often will do, you're going to have a really bad day.
But it doesn't matter. So that's the thing with your guitar playing. Let's play, say you're playing Paranoid. Again, BS Bingo, ding, ding, ding. You played it 100. I played it 100% last week. I couldn't play it today. Doesn't mean you won't be able to play it again.
Put your guitar down, go make a cup of tea, try again tomorrow.
I had someone ask me, so can you play this Whitesnake solo? I went, yes, I can. I've actually got a video of me playing it in my Snapchat memories from January. Can't play it now, but I rushed it then because I haven't touched it since then. Yeah. Doesn't mean I can't get back on it again. Mm-hmm. It's
every lesson I've ever put on YouTube. If you just ask me to play something, I can't keep up. There's something like 85 lessons on there now. I could probably remember most of it to a fashion, but I won't be able to do like the solo for Smoke on the Water. It'd just take me a little bit of time to.
That's all I remember from it.
Anyway, we're gonna get out in the weeds. So
yeah.
I think we should call that for today.
We should.
We talked about whether the week was a rock or a roll, learning the notes on the fretboard, and our want of the week. Just a reminder, we are on the new channel. If you haven't subscribed or liked the video already, please do. It really, really, really does help us out. The first video that we did, most of you did that by the sounds of it.
But if all 2,100 people did,
we would
wicked.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, the more people engage with the video, the more YouTube will push it out to everybody.
Numbers don't matter. It's materialistic, but the numbers means that we get pushed out by YouTube. Imagine Churchill in his drawing rooms pushing out the ships.
Right. Okay.
Weird reference there for you.
100%. And just a reminder, on Saturday, the 8th of November, we are live at Denbydale Pie Hall. First link in the description. You can book your tickets. There's a few remaining. Where we're going to do a live show and then a big Q&A at the end and give you a chance to meet us both, which I think will be a good time. I'm looking forward to that, Josh.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's going to be here before we know it. So.
It is, because it's already August now.
100%. So, do you want to start?
I will.
We'll play them out. Do you want to start soloing?
Yeah. See you later, guys.